This day was a long time coming. Paid climate scientists have finally admitted we might not make it through the ever-tightening bottleneck. In fact, here's the title of an article at The Guardian on October 8, 2024. Earth's vital signs show humanity's future in balance, say climate experts. Yes, that final word is the plural form of expert. Here's the subhead, quote, record emissions, temperatures, and population mean more scientists are looking into possibility of societal collapse, report says, end quote. The lead tells the story, quote, many of Earth's vital signs have hit record extremes, indicating that the future of humanity hangs in the balance, a group of the world's most senior climate experts have said, end quote. It's not only paid climate scientists, it's, quote, the world's most senior climate experts, end quote. More about that report shortly. Here are the 7 paragraphs after the lead. Quote, more and more scientists are now looking into the possibility of societal collapse, says the report, which assessed 35 vital signs in 2023 and found that 25 were worse than ever recorded, including carbon dioxide levels and human population. This indicates a critical and unpredictable new phase of the climate crisis, it says. The temperature of Earth's surface and oceans hit an all-time high, driven by record burning of fossil fuels, the report found. Human population is increasing at a rate of approximately 200,000 people a day, and the number of cattle and sheep by 170,000 a day, all adding to record greenhouse gas emissions. The scientists identified 28 feedback loops, including increasing emissions from melting permafrost, which could help trigger multiple tipping points, such as the collapse of the massive Greenland ice cap. Global heating is driving increasingly deadly extreme weather across the world, they said, including hurricanes in the U.S. and 50C heat waves in India, with billions of people now exposed to extreme heat. The scientists said their goal was, quote, to provide clear, evidence-based insights that inspire informed and bold responses from citizens to researchers and world leaders. We just want to act truthfully and tell it like it is, end quote. Decisive, fast action was imperative to limit human suffering, they said, including reducing fossil fuel burning and methane emissions, cutting overconsumption and waste by the rich, and encouraging a switch towards plant-based foods. We're already in the midst of abrupt climate upheaval, which jeopardizes life on Earth like nothing humans have ever seen, said Professor William Ripple of Oregon State University, who co-led the group. Ecological overshoot, taking more than the Earth can safely give, has pushed the planet into climatic conditions more threatening than anything witnessed even by our prehistoric relatives. Climate change has already displaced millions of people, with the potential to displace hundreds of millions or even billions. That would likely lead to greater geopolitical instability, possibly even partial societal collapse. End quote. Skipping ahead a few paragraphs, we find this information. The report includes the results of a Guardian survey of hundreds of senior climate experts in May 2023, which found that only 6% believe that the internationally agreed limit of 1.5 C of warming would be adhered to. This is not a tough call to make, considering governments of the world concluded we passed the 2C Rubicon in October of 2023. The researchers quoted in the Guardian survey said, quote, the fact is that avoiding every tenth of a degree of warming is critically important. Each tenth places an extra 100 million people into unprecedented hot average temperatures, end quote. Finally, the assessment concludes, quote, only through decisive action can we safeguard the natural world, avert profound human suffering, and ensure that future generations inherit the livable world they deserve. The future of humanity hangs in the balance, end quote. It's difficult to disagree with the bottom line. Quote, the future of humanity hangs in the balance, end quote. Of course it does. Earth is amid abrupt, irreversible climate change, as reported by the Design to Fail Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, with 2 reports published more than 5 years ago. According to the IPCC, Earth is amid the most abrupt change in planetary history. The identification of 28 self-reinforcing feedback loops is noteworthy, as reported by The Guardian. Remember, only one self-reinforcing feedback loop is required to ensure the irreversibility of climate change. That this group of researchers finally identified 28 such feedback loops is worthy of mention. The story in The Guardian mentions that this information was first reported in the renowned peer-reviewed journal Bioscience. Specifically, it was published October 8, 2024, entitled The 2024 State of the Climate Report, Perilous Times on Planet Earth. As I've mentioned previously in this space, the peer-reviewed open access paper in Bioscience concludes with this paragraph, quote, "The surge in yearly climate disasters shows we are in a major crisis with worse to come if we continue with business as usual. Today, more than ever, our actions matter for the stable climate system that has supported us for thousands of years. Humanity's future depends on our creativity, moral fiber, and perseverance. We must urgently reduce ecological overshoot and pursue immediate large-scale climate change mitigation and adaptation to limit near-term damage. Only through decisive action can we safeguard the natural world, avert profound human suffering, and ensure that future generations inherit the livable world they deserve. The future of humanity hangs in the balance." End quote. There is no mention of the aerosol masking effect in either The Guardian or the peer-reviewed paper. As you know, loss of aerosol masking will cause Earth to heat rapidly if industrial activity declines. As a result, this report resembles many others that demand action from the mass of humanity, even as billionaires, paid climate scientists, media personalities, and government officials continue to retain aerosol masking via commercial airlines and individual automobiles. It's the same story we've heard thousands of times. You and I must reduce greenhouse gas emissions while others continue to destroy the living planet for the sake of personal convenience. Meanwhile, the aerosol masking effect remains the best-kept secret in climate science. There are no surprises here, except that paid climate scientists admit that, as a species, we are in deep trouble. That we are in trouble is hardly a surprise for those of us who are paying attention. That the trouble is being reported in a peer-reviewed paper and a well-known corporate media outlet is the surprise.